we're getting ready to make some pressed ham. Now, I am using a pork tenderloin, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. Of course, this has got some fat on it on the outside. We're going to get all this fat trimmed up, and we'll get it cut up like they say and get it into our press here in a little bit. And I'm cutting off the good pieces of meat off of the fat that I trimmed. And this is where I use the small pieces to grind up, and we'll mix it in with larger chunks. Okay, we've got the little chunks in the food processor, and we're going to mince this up and mix it in with the larger chunks. And as we press it into the ham press, we'll press down to get all the air out, and this mince will go in between the larger chunks to help take up any space that could cause air pockets. Okay, kind of moving that around to make sure there's no clumps. It's good and fine. I'm going to go ahead and mix it a little bit more here. Okay, this is ground up pretty good. I think it's time to go ahead and put it in the bowl with that other. Now, as you can see, I have already ground some and put in there. We added this to it, and I think it was a little less than, probably about a third of the meat, maybe, something like that. I'm not real sure. This is my first time making pressed ham, or supposedly pressed ham. We'll see what it turns out like. Now we're measuring out our cure, and this is for 2 pounds, which is going to be 2.2 grams. It's 1.1 gram per pound. Okay, I almost forgot to add the sea salt. I'm going to measure some out and put in there. We'll see what it's like at the end. I don't know if I put in enough or not. I might not, but it does have the cure number 1 in it. And we know when we try it if it was right or not. Well, we put some in there. I'm trying to adjust it. I think I only put 1.3 grams of salt in it. So we'll see what it's like. Now we're going to add in the salt and the cure, and we're going to mix it around, and I'm going to put some pepper in it as well. Okay, it's time to turn up the speed mixer. And we're going to add our black pepper, which I think I put in probably maybe a couple of teaspoons full. And now we're getting it all mixed up, get it well incorporated, and I think it's time to turn that speed mixer back on. Okay, here's our ham press, and we got a spring-loaded compressor that compresses it down when you put the lid on it. Now I'm going to spray it with a little bit of non-stick spray, cooking spray, and it should help with the removal of it. I've never done this. I've seen some of them do this, so I'm giving it a try. Now we start loading the press and pushing it down to try to work all the air out we can. Okay, we're continuing to press it down, and again we have the cubed up pork and the ground pork, and you want to make sure you keep pressing it down, trying to get all that air out Now, when it comes out of the mold, you will see pockets on the side, but it works out. Okay, you can see how far, this is 2 pounds of meat, so you can see how far that comes up in this. The whole canister isn't over, I think, 6.5 or 7 inches long, or tall, and it's about 4 inches in diameter, I think. And I'm trying to get it smooth and level on top as best I can. Now we'll put the spring and plate in, which compresses the meat down, keeps pressure on it after you put the lid on it. Now you carefully compress the spring down and twist the lid on and it locks in. Now we'll put it in the refrigerator where it is set and cure for 48 hours. We'll be back. Okay, it's been a little more than 48 hours. We're supposed to leave this in the refrigerator. You can kind of see the line where the meat is packed up to here, and it's got a spring-loaded plate that goes down, and then we got a hole in top we can put a thermometer in. And we're going to place this in some water and cook it. I'm not sure how long it'll take, but our water is supposed to be around 180 degrees. Now we'll want to bring that water up above this. I'm going to bring it up to about right in here, and it should be fine. Okay, I think it's at 175. I'm going to go ahead and put this in there because this is cold and it's going to bring down the temp. We may have to add a little bit of water to it. We'll bring it up together and let it come to the right temperature. By this thermometer, it's 179 degrees. That's about right on. So I'm going to watch it and try to keep it at 180. Well, it went to 181. We'll turn it down just a bit, and we'll come back when it's finished. All right, it looks like we've reached an internal temperature of 165 degrees. Now it's time to take it out of there and put it in a cold water bath. Okay, that's a little warm. I'm going to pick it up and we're just going to set it right here on a paper towel. Then I'm going to get that, this here, and we're going to empty the hot water and put cold water in. I got a little bit of water in there. I'm going to go ahead and put it down in there. And we're going to set it to the side there a little bit and pour this cold water in there. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more. And we're going to let that cool, and we're going to add a little ice to it. Move that over again. Yeah. All right, we have it cooled down to 60 degrees. I think we're going to get it out and see what it looks like. I've added ice to this, it cooled it down. Hey, 60 degrees is cooler in there than it is out here. We'll be back. All right, let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's spring loaded. I'm gonna dump this water off of this. Now let's see if we can. Oh, that came out. There it is, look at that. That looks awesome. This is from the plate. Let's cut into it. Well, I was disappointed in the way it turned out. I used a pork loin, tenderloin, for this, really lean. I think the next time I'm going to use a pork butt, or pork shoulder, whatever you want to call it. This, I left a lot of ingredients out, trying to make it more healthier, but it had the curing salt, left some salt out. And I don't know why, I forgot to put in some water. I was going to add brown sugar, forgot that, garlic and stuff, so I was leaving some of that out to make it a more healthier. But basically all you got is a round pressed pork chop. Next time we'll do it different. Although it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, this will make for good sandwiches. Hey, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing.